Island restrictions are a feature common in most Grand Theft Auto games, which restrict the freedom of the player to explore the game map until a certain part of the storyline is reached. In this video, we are going to talk about how creative they were when implementing those restrictions and how the player can unlock them. Let's talk about how GTA 3's island restriction works. GTA 3 has 3 main islands: Portland, Staunton Island, and Shoreside Vale. The game starts with an explosion on the Callahan Bridge, which links Portland and Staunton Island.
The convoy left police headquarters early this morning for a routine transfer of felons to Liberty Penitentiary. The attack took place on the Callahan Bridge, leaving few witnesses and the bridge itself severely damaged. With the Porter Tunnel project falling behind schedule, this disaster leaves Portland isolated from the rest of the city.
After it was destroyed by a bomb, the player has to stay in the Portland and keep completing Portland missions. The bridge will be repaired when the player completes the mission, Last Requests. After that, the player is able to go to the Staunton Island, which is the second island in the game. The Portland-Staunton section of the Porter Tunnel also becomes accessible after this. Once the player reaches Staunton Island, they are still unable to access Shoreside Vale, as the Shoreside lift bridge is inoperative due to a malfunction leaving the lift permanently raised. This restriction remains until player completes the mission, A Drop in the Ocean. After that, the bridge will be repaired, and the third island will be unlocked. GTA Vice City game map contains 2 main islands, Mainland and Vice Beach. And there are 2 smaller islands, Prawn Island and Starfish Island. In the beginning of the game, it says, due to hurricane warnings, all bridges to the mainland are closed. So the player has to stay in Vice Beach until the hurricane is gone. The gates will be closed until the player completes Phnom Penh 86 mission. For the same reason, access to Starfish Island will also be blocked at the beginning. It will open after completing the mission Guardian Angels. An earthquake occurred in 1992, around a month before the beginning of the story. Therefore, the damaged inter-county bridges are closed, which prevents the player from legally leaving Los Santos at the start of the game. Also, CJ is advised by Frank Tenpenny not to leave Los Santos.
Carl, it's Officer Hernandez.
Who?
Officer Hernandez. I work with Tenpenny and Pulaski.
Oh, the bitch. What the hell you want?
Hey, show me some respect, boy.
Go fuck yourself. You just a bitch.
You watch your tone, boy. Now listen, I've got a message from Officer Tenpenny. Don't try and leave town. That would be a big mistake. You hear me? We're watching you.
Whatever you say, bitch.
So if the player somehow manages to escape the area, 4-star wanted level will occur and the player will be killed immediately. The first section of the restriction is lifted following the Mission Green Saber, allowing access to Flint County, Whetstone, and San Fierro. After completing the mission Yai Ka Boom Boom, the restrictions on accessing Bone County and Las Venturas are lifted, granting full access to the map. Liberty City Stories acts as a prequel to 2001's Grand Theft Auto 3. The game has introduced a unique transport option, riding the ferry. This was the only way to get to the Staunton Island, because Callahan Bridge was not completely built at the time. Because of the Callahan Bridge construction project and introduced new Porter Tunnel project, ferry workers' jobs are now in danger. So at the beginning of the game, ferry workers have started a strike, which prevents the player from going to the Staunton Island. Upon completing the Driving Mr. Leone mission, the ferry strike ends and a ramp is placed on the incomplete Callahan Bridge, allowing player to get to the Staunton Island.
The industrial action that had cut off Portland from the rest of the city has finally come to an end. Or has it? Although all the subway and ferry routes are now officially open, militant workers are continuing with their blockade in parts of the city. The elevator bridge connecting Staunton Island and Shoreside Vale has been shut down. The strikers refuse to believe assurances made by city officials over the future of the ferries.
With the protesters blockading the entrance to the Shoreside Lift Bridge with their second strike, player is still unable to go to the third island. This restriction is lifted following the mission Love on the Rocks, when new mayor assures the workers that the ferry service will continue. Then full access to the map will also be achieved with the opening of all the city's subway stations. The game starts from Vice City's mainland. But just like in GTA Vice City, the initial restriction, the closure of bridges, is due to a hurricane warning. The warning is lifted after the player completes the mission from Zero to Hero. Let's see why Grand Theft Auto 4 has locked other islands at the beginning.
Why don't you show me around the city?
Terrorists!
What?
Terrorists! There's been a big scare and you can't go across the bridges so good. You without the visa, I would stay in Broker. Can stay in Hove Beach. Everyone like us does.
Upon arriving in Liberty City, Nico Bellic's cousin Roman informed him that transportation is restricted since police cars are stationed on the bridge, and the city's bridges are closed due to a terrorist threat. When progressing through the story, restrictions are gradually lifted. Algonquin opens up after the mission Blow Your Cover, and after Three Leaf Clover, full access to the map will be available. If Nico crossed the bridges during their closure, he will receive an instant 6-star wanted level.
Stop what you're doing!
Last guy that did that is doing time.
What? Am I hard to see? What?
Air units from Dodge.
Unlike most of the previous titles, Grand Theft Auto 5 does not feature any initial restrictions on travel. If you want to sneak into the locked areas before completing the missions, you can watch this video and learn how to access locked islands in Grand Theft Auto games. With that, we end up today's video. Thank you for watching.